Man's Search for Meaning. An extended summary and review introduction, a book that changed millions of lives. Few books have influenced readers as profoundly as Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. More than a memoir, more than a psychology book, and more than a philosophical work, it is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. Frankl was an Austrian psychiatrist who survived Nazi concentration camps during World War II. He endured unimaginable suffering, witnessed the loss of family members, and experienced conditions that stripped people of nearly everything they possessed. Yet, from this darkness emerged a remarkable insight. Human beings can endure almost any suffering if they can find meaning in it. This simple idea became the foundation of Frankl's life's work and continues to inspire readers around the world. The book is divided into two major parts. The first describes Frankl's experiences in the concentration camps. The second introduces his psychological approach known as logotherapy, a form of therapy centered on the search for meaning. Together, these sections create a powerful exploration of human resilience, purpose, and hope. Entering the camps, Frankl's account begins with his arrival at the concentration camps. Like countless others, he was stripped of his possessions, his professional identity, and his freedom. Within hours, prisoners lost everything that had previously defined them. Names were replaced by numbers. Personal belongings disappeared, careers, achievements, social status, and material possessions became meaningless. What remained was the bare essence of existence. Frankl observed that the initial shock was often accompanied by disbelief. Many prisoners could not comprehend the reality they had entered. The conditions were brutal. Food was scarce. Living quarters were overcrowded. Physical labor was exhausting. Disease and death were constant companions. Yet Frankl's interest as a psychiatrist led him to observe not only the external conditions, but also the psychological reactions of those around him. He noticed that individuals responded differently to suffering. Some surrendered to despair. Others retained a sense of dignity despite everything. This observation would become central to the lessons of the book. The psychology of survival. One of Frankl's most important discoveries was that survival depended on more than physical strength. Many prisoners who appeared physically stronger sometimes lost hope and deteriorated rapidly. Others who seemed weaker managed to persevere. The difference often lay in their mental and emotional outlook. Frankl observed that those who maintained a reason to live frequently displayed greater resilience. Some dreamed of reuniting with loved ones, others held onto unfinished work or future goals, still others found meaning through faith. Purpose acted like an invisible source of strength. It did not eliminate suffering, but it gave suffering context. When people believed their lives still held meaning, they became more capable of enduring hardship. This insight echoes one of the book's most famous themes. The question is not what we expect from life, but what life expects from us. The inner life of prisoners. Despite the horrific environment, Frankl discovered that the human spirit remained capable of extraordinary experiences. Prisoners found comfort in memories of loved ones. Moments of beauty, such as a sunset, could still inspire awe. Acts of kindness carried immense significance. These experiences demonstrated that even when external freedom is removed, inner freedom remains possible. Frankl often reflected on his wife. Although he did not know whether she was alive, thoughts of her provided emotional strength. Love became more than a feeling. It became a source of meaning. This insight led Frankl to conclude that love is one of the highest expressions of human existence. The ability to hold another person in one's heart can sustain hope even under the harshest conditions. Human choice and responsibility. Perhaps the most famous idea in the book concerns freedom. the camps deprive prisoners of almost every external freedom imaginable. Yet, Frankl observed that one freedom remained: the freedom to choose one's attitude. Circumstances influence people, but they do not completely determine them. Even in situations where options are limited, individuals retain the ability to choose how they respond. This does not mean suffering becomes easy, nor does it suggest that victims are responsible for their circumstances. Rather, Frankl emphasizes that meaning arises through our response to challenges. The ability to choose an attitude becomes a final source of dignity when everything else is taken away. Hope and the future. Hope played a critical role in survival. Prisoners who lost all sense of future often declined rapidly. When people stopped believing there was something worth living for, their physical and emotional condition frequently worsened. Frankl noticed that maintaining a future-oriented perspective provided strength. A future goal, a loved one, a responsibility, a dream. These elements gave individuals reasons to continue. The lesson extends beyond the concentration camps. Modern challenges may be different, but the need for purpose remains the same. People thrive when they have something meaningful to pursue. Liberation and its complexities. When liberation finally arrived, many prisoners expected overwhelming joy. The reality was more complicated. Years of suffering had altered their psychological state. Freedom required adjustment. Some struggled to process what they had experienced. Others felt disconnected from the world they returned to. This section of the book highlights an important truth. Survival is not merely physical. Healing is also emotional and psychological. Trauma does not disappear overnight. Recovery often requires time, reflection, and support. Introduction to logotherapy. The second half of the book introduces Frankl's psychological framework known as logotherapy. Unlike approaches focused primarily on pleasure or power, logotherapy centers on meaning. Frankl believed that the primary human motivation is the desire to find purpose. People can endure suffering, hardship, and sacrifice when they perceive meaning in their experiences. Conversely, a lack of meaning often contributes to despair, emptiness, and hopelessness. This concept remains highly relevant today. Many people struggle not because they lack comfort, but because they lack purpose. The existential vacuum Frankl describes a condition he calls the existential vacuum. This occurs when people feel empty, directionless, or disconnected from meaning. Modern society often provides entertainment, convenience, and distraction. Yet, many individuals still experience profound dissatisfaction. Why? Because comfort alone cannot satisfy the human need for purpose. Without meaning, people may experience boredom, anxiety, or a sense of emptiness. The existential vacuum remains one of the book's most relevant concepts in today's world. 3 sources of meaning. According to Frankl, meaning can be discovered in 3 primary ways. First, through creating or accomplishing something valuable. Second, through experiencing love, beauty, or relationships. Third, through the attitude we adopt toward unavoidable suffering. This third source is particularly important. When suffering cannot be eliminated, individuals can still find meaning through courage, dignity, and resilience. This perspective transforms suffering from a purely negative experience into an opportunity for growth. Meaning. Through work. Purposeful work provides one avenue for meaning. People often feel fulfilled when contributing to something larger than themselves. Meaningful work does not necessarily require fame or wealth. It may involve raising a family, helping others, creating art, teaching, building a business, or serving a community. The key is contribution. Human beings derive satisfaction from knowing their efforts matter. Meaning through love. Love occupies a special place in Frankl's philosophy. He argues that we truly understand another person through love. love allows us to see potential, dignity, and value beyond circumstances. In the camps, memories of loved ones sustained many prisoners. Outside the camps, relationships continue to provide meaning and purpose. Love connects people to something greater than themselves. Meaning through suffering. Perhaps the book's most challenging idea concerns suffering. Frankl does not glorify pain, nor does he suggest that suffering is desirable. However, he argues that when suffering is unavoidable, individuals still possess the freedom to determine how they respond. Courage, compassion, perseverance, faith. These qualities can transform suffering into a source of meaning. This perspective has inspired countless readers facing illness, loss, hardship, and adversity. Why this book endures. Decades after its publication, man's search for meaning remains influential because its message is universal. Every person encounters challenges. Every person experiences loss. Every person faces uncertainty. Frankl's work reminds us that meaning is available even during difficult times. The book does not promise happiness without hardship. Instead, it offers something deeper: the belief that life retains meaning under all circumstances. This message continues to resonate because it addresses one of humanity's oldest questions. Why continue when life becomes difficult? Frankl's answer is simple: because meaning remains possible. Final review and conclusion. Man's Search for Meaning is one of the most important books ever written about resilience, purpose, and the human condition. Its lessons transcend psychology and enter the realm of philosophy, spirituality, and personal growth. The book challenges readers to reconsider their relationship with suffering and purpose. Rather than asking what they want from life, readers are encouraged to ask what life is asking of them. The greatest lesson of the book is that meaning is not something we discover once and keep forever. It is something we continually create through our choices, relationships, responsibilities, and responses to adversity. If you enjoyed this summary, be sure to explore more book reviews and summaries on our channel. We're here to bring the wisdom of great books to life in a simple and engaging way. If you found this video valuable, please share it with others and subscribe for more insightful book summaries. This is Santara thanking you for joining me today. Until our next book journey, keep learning, keep growing, and keep discovering new ideas. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next book review. Happy reading!